All right, so this is how we usually go about these things. We create a level 1 and go around Los Santos looking for something to kind of do for the video. And we land up at some place, crazy idea, and we start recording. This time around, we thought, what if we can just run around the entire place, do the Cayo Perico, but just run around all the place. Now, last week, we did no weapons, but we still used the knife. This time around, what if we don't use any weapons at all? Any weapons at all. Just run around the place and throw fists at people. So this is exactly what we did. But by the time we got to the submarine, we realized that we used the motorbike for a while. So, can't have that. We can't have that. Let's do this with no vehicles whatsoever, except for like that weenie that we're going to have to drive in Cayo Perico. And just throwing fists. Just throwing fists. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Roxy Balboa is going to be our level 1 for this session. She's kind of cute. She's our boo. If you understand the reference, please leave a comment below. It's the law. I am the law. So, Roxy Balboa goes around throwing fists at every single person that crosses her path. And we went to the music locker to talk to Mini Madrazo Boogie for a wee bit before we get ourselves a submarine. And we're going to complete Cayo Perico just by running around the place and throwing fists. No weapons whatsoever. We're going to finish this with no weapons. A little bit of parkour and then just going around down to the pier. We found ourselves a metal detector, so we'll mention this like a little bit later when we get to Cayo Perico heist thing. But yeah, we're gonna go into the submarine, meet our operator Pavel. It's good to see you again. Let's go for another session, and let's get ourselves into Cayo Perico. Now I'm going to skip most of that stuff, and don't worry about it. The fast forward that you're seeing here, it's not gonna throw anyone's fit like for many times. I'm only gonna do this like a couple of times, maybe just one more time here in Cayo Perico. But we're not gonna go through all these scope because we've done this a million times. Just check like the rest of the videos in the channel. We did this in detail and we did this with level 1s and stuff. The only thing I'm going to mention is that we actually had to swim all the way to the drainage pipe, and this is what the metal detector is for. You can get yourself like a cash, so I think it's just a couple thousand or whatever. Right, so we're gonna go and start the heist here. There was like a little bit of swimming and a little bit of like stealthing and whatnot. We're starting with the cutting torch. The reason why we're going to go here first, it's because we want to build ourselves the stamina and the strength. And after we get the cutting torch, you have like actually a timer to get this back to the submarine. I didn't know this because I was just throwing fists at every single person that we found until all of a sudden I was having a lot of fun at Del Perro, and then they said like, oh, it's you have 5 minutes to get to the Kasaka, and I was like, oh, okay. It takes us about 2 minutes to actually swim that way. Right, the second one was to go to the desert. We have to pick the vellum here because if we get any other prep, we had to drive or something the car, right? So we had to pick one. We could go with a submarine, but that's super boring. Everyone does it. And also, we got couple of stashes of cocaine at the hangar. And yes, we're gonna go for the elite challenge, 100% elite challenge. So we had to pick up the vellum and we ran out of snacks. We probably should have been doing this like a little bit before because we just had like a little bit of problem just trying to get it up in the air. With only a couple of minutes in the clock, I think it was about 2 minutes 30 in the clock, we didn't start flying to Los Santos, and we got to the airport with just a few seconds in the clock. So it was good because we didn't have to go around and then do this all over again. Now, the next one, we need to pick the fingerprint cloner thing, and we had to go around and then just like punch people back and forth. Luckily, the archive was located again near the fair thingy, so it was kind of close to the pier. So all we had to do is just jump around. We were still getting chased and whatnot, but the swim here to the submarine wasn't too bad. All the other archives were going to be like super tricky to do. Now, the next one, safe code. Now, we did this like a few times, and it's funny the way this is so not coded for melee attacks. As you can see here, like the guards are like porting like a little bit because they're just not expecting that. Rockstar, what the hell? What if I just want to punch them down and I don't want to shoot them? I just want to punch them down. inside was a totally different story than last week. We did like much better here with the guys. We were able to take like sometimes 2 guys in a fight. Now this guy, the head of security, there's a little bit of tough nails, but it was fine. Even on foot, it's going to be super easy to get to lose the cops, so this wasn't a big deal. But we still have another one to do, unmarked weapons. Now this one, on our way to the Schlongberg building, because we couldn't do Merryweather. There's no way we can just like go after the helicopter or something, so we had to actually cancel a couple of Merryweather. But here it was an absolute bloodbath. That was the only way to do something like this, and which is like slowly get one by one, and then eventually you get everyone taken down. The cleaning lady is gonna have like throw a complete fit when she gets here Monday morning, because this was crazy. Now I went to the roof, and the idea was to pick up the parachute and try to gain some ground and try not to die on top of a building. But there was no parachute at the top. So the goal was to reach the beach, but even there it's kind of like going to be a little bit hard. I was running out of snacks as well. But once you get into the water, it's fine. All you need to do is like swim to the submarine. Mini Madrazo comes in to say goodbye as we're going to go into Cayo Perico. And so far so good. Let's get into this. Now, we're going to be running cross country from the top of the island to the very bottom of the island, and we're gonna still be able to complete the elite challenge, which is crazy. I don't know why I buy suppressors, because I'm not gonna fire any weapons, but yeah, I thought at the time that was good. Anyways, so the first stack of coke was right at the hangar. We didn't even pick up the weapons because we kind of don't need to pick up the weapons. So we pick up the first stack, and then we had to wait for one of the guards to kind of move to get the second stack, because we have like the uniforms. This is not how you do it. You don't throw the punch. It feels like I forgot all my training. You need to sneak in and then just press the melee attack, just so you kind of like get that guard. So once you get the uniforms, you can go into the second warehouse thingy, and after you loot this, I went to the back to get the grappling hook, and then it starts the cross country all across the island. All you need to do is run like the wind, like Forrest Gump, to get to the compound. We have like the grappling hook, so we don't have many guards on our way. This is becoming like one of my favorite entry points for the compound, anyways. Now, when you get to this first guard here, we're gonna use our melee attack, and he dropped the keys. Now, this was the second run, and I thought about it, and I just decided to go straight into the gates, and then straight to get the primary. Now, I got a little bit greedy after this, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know how much time I had, but I got greedy, so I said like, no, I'm going to still hack, and I'm still gonna go upstairs to get to the safe. Now, this is the reason why I didn't go upstairs from here. It's because I missed it on the first run, so yeah, I missed the attacks there, even with the sneaky thing. So yeah, a little bit greedy, get ourselves like a little bit more money or cash or whatever. And then once you exit the compound, just take a left to one of the cliffs and dive, and you get yourself out of there. Don't worry, I'm going to show some stats at the end of this to prove that this was really done like as we were been saying, so it's not like a complete waste of anyways, he gets the files right, and we got ourselves the elite challenge. We walk away with 1.5 millis, 13 minutes and 17 seconds to do this. No hacks fail, the bags, full loot bags, so we get ourselves the elite challenge. So here's some stats for you guys and girls here. Let's see, we finish with top stamina, good strength, 6 hours playing the character, a long session of 2 hours. We died 140 times. We swam 8 miles, and we run about like 40 miles, give or take, and no favorite bike. So we drove the car, which is the Jeep in Cayo, and we also had to drive the pilot the airplane, but no shots and no hits. Pretty awesome. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'll see you guys and girls on the next one. Until then, mind yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye.